The Jackson State Tigers started off the season 1-0 with a win over Hampton. We're going to talk about the good and the bad and some of the things that the Tigers are going to need to clean up if they want to repeat as SWAC and Celebration Bowl champions. Let's talk about it all after the bumper. Stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYr, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and notification bell because I upload all the time. Jackson State came away with a 28-14 win over Hampton. The Tigers were at home, opened up the season as reigning, defending Celebration Bowl champions. They hosted the Hampton Pirates at Veterans Memorial Stadium. It was a crowd of what was they say? It was 13,000. 13,000. So, like according to Jackson State website, 13,000, smaller crowd, but nonetheless still into it, still impactful, still happy to see the Tigers play football as the reigning SWAC champions, as the first time ever winning the Celebration Bowl. And they had some good things. Ahmad Miller. Welcome back, Mr. Ahmad Miller. Dealt with a ton of injuries last season. Didn't really, we saw the flashes his freshman year. Last year, he dealt with a ton of injuries. This year, he's back, and he looked amazing. 180 yards on 12 carries. A big 76-yard run to end the game. 2 touchdowns on the day as well. Jacoby and Morgan put one into the end zone. And then you also had Davenport. No, Ahmad Miller only scored once. Ahmad Miller scored once. The stats on here, I think they're a little messed up. Davenport scored once. Ahmad Miller scored once, and number 30 scored once as well. So, they had 3 different rushing touchdowns. Ahmad Miller had the big 76-yard run at the end of the game, and he looked good. The running game looked good. This is what the Tigers need to clean up. At times, the secondary and we're going to talk about the defense. Well, let's start offense to defense first. On offense, obviously, I felt like the offensive line play was really good. I felt like the running backs were really good, and your running game was really good because of the outstanding play of your offensive line. You finished with what? How many yards did you finish with? 300 yards rushing on 34 carries. 300 yards rushing on 34 carries. That is the sign of a dominant offensive line. And 0 sacks given up on Jacoby and Morgan. Dominant performance by the offensive line. Dominant performance by the running backs. Dominant performance up front. That means you were moving people out the way. You don't allow a sack on your quarterback, and you garner 300 yards on the ground, including one back who went for 180. That is a hell of a day. I mean, that's a hell of a day. Shout out to Ahmad Miller for making it possible and making it shine even brighter, especially with that 76-yard run to kind of, you know what I mean? Hit the Steph Curry, hit the night on them at the end of the game there. Here's the concern. It's one game. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But in one game, Jacoby and Morgan didn't show any improvement. In one game, Jacoby and Morgan didn't even look like the same quarterback at the end of last year. In one game, the concerns that I had last year, it could potentially be the play of quarterback Jacoby and Morgan. If he doesn't improve his play, I don't know if they can win a national championship. He improved his play, they won the Celebration Bowl. The same thing applies this year. The only difference between last year and this year, coming into this season, Coach T.C. Taylor said, I want to open up the playbook even more. I trust Jacobian that much more because he is a senior, because he is a national champion quarterback, because he is a SWAC champion at quarterback, because he overcame the quarterback battles that T.C. Taylor brought to the room. Let's not get it twisted. T.C. Taylor brought in quarterbacks. Both of the last 2 years, Cameron McCoy, who's now at Southern, was in Jackson State's quarterback room and started a game for them last year. Played majority of games, of individual games at times last year. Zy McDonald was in that room last year, and hell, he won them, the SWAC championship. Zy McDonald, who's now I think he's at Clark Atlanta. So he brought in competition last year. He brought in competition this year. And Jacobian held all the guys off. That young man, I forgot his name, he came in this year. He didn't win the battle in spring, and he transferred out. So TC Taylor has constantly put the pressure on Jacobian Morgan to become a better quarterback. And at least during competitions, he's winning those battles. But on Saturday, he didn't look like that. 15 of 30 just isn't going to cut it. 15 of 30, less than 150 yards passing, 0 passing touchdowns, 50% completion percentage, your longest pass being 21 yards. That's not going to cut it when you have the weapons that you have. Jonas Fortillion, Mr. Dupree, Mr. Rimbert, Shamar Savage. Look at their numbers. 5 catches for Fortillion, 43 yards. It's okay. Dupree, 3 catches for 40 yards. That's okay. Rimbert, 4 catches for 31 yards. That's not good enough for him. He's too good of a player to only have 31 yards on 4 catches. Jensen Riley, 2 catches, 26 yards, including one of them going for 21 yards. These numbers, especially when your coach proclaims preseason that he trusts you more, that he wants to air it out more, that yes, he loves running the ball and being effective. Trust me, he's never going to complain about 300 yards rushing. Look at that. He's never going to complain about having a game where he ran the ball for 300 yards and scored 4 touchdowns on the ground. He's not going to complain about that. He's not. And Mari Matthews, that's the young man who I couldn't think of his name. So yeah, okay, I guess Ahmad Miller did have 2 touchdowns. Tripping. But he's never going to complain when you have 4 rushing touchdowns and 300 yards, averaging 9 yards a carry. But for the game to have been as close as it was, this dominant on the ground, that tells me that your quarterback didn't play well enough. Not to mention your defense having multiple sacks. We're going to talk about the young man from Florida here in a second. I mean, oh my goodness, young Quincy. What the hell does Jackson State have in Quincy Ivory? I mean, what in the world is that? That's James Houston reincarnated. But I'm saying all of that to say, Jacobian Morgan is going to determine how far Jackson State goes this year. Because if you look, whether people want to admit it or not, I don't know. You can be mad at me. Whether you want to admit it or not, you were impressed by what you saw from Andrew Body. Andrew Body, in his game against an FBS opponent, threw for over 300 yards, scored 4 touchdowns, including 1 on the ground and 3 through the air. Andrew Body looked impressive. And if you're going to have to go band for band with Andrew Body, meaning you're going to have to score every time he scores, or you're going to have to score when your defense gets stops on him, which may not be often, just the way he looked first game. First impressions are everything. Then Jacobian's going to have to step his damn game up. He's going to have to step it up. That 15 of 30 for 147 yards is 0 touchdowns when you're not sacked. There were 0 sacks. The offensive line gave up 0 sacks. The offensive line allowed you to run for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. I need more through the air. They couldn't stop the run game. So therefore, passing lane should have been open. I need more through the air, especially when you were able to run the ball like that. Flipping over on the other side, the Jackson State defense. I'm telling you, Quincy Ivory, you got yourself another one. I mean, just point blank, period. You have yourself another one. I believe he could potentially be James Houston, reincarnated. James Houston, who is now on an NFL roster. James Houston, who spent majority of his time at Florida, came to Jackson State, balled out in 1 year, and turned himself into an NFL player. I think you could potentially have that in Quincy Ivory. Quincy Ivory at 6'3", 239 pounds. He's a little light for defensive ends at the NFL level, but at the FCS level, at the HBCU level, he started at Mississippi Valley. Wow. I didn't know that. He started at Valley in 2021. This is crazy. He played quarterback? This man played quarterback and is now wreaking havoc on the SWAC at defensive end with 2 sacks in this game? That is insane. I'm like reading all this in real time, if you can't tell. The young man played quarterback. Now comes to Jackson State, and his first game has 2 sacks. First game at JSU after playing quarterback in 2021, forces a fumble, 2 sacks, 3.5 tackles for loss, just 8 total tackles, just totally disrupted. Jackson State also had an interception on a bad throw. The Hampton quarterbacks, they were a mixed bag. You had one young man, Freeman, who ran the ball really well. The other young man completed some passes. Both of them, I think, had better days than Jacoby Morgan, which is sad right? The team that had the winning team, the losing team had 2 quarterbacks, I think probably played better than Jacoby Morgan. And with all that being said, Jackson State still was able to get the win. But Jacobian's whole thing is for moving forward. You have Southern Miss this week. You can't play like that because you can't expect your running backs to get 300 yards on the ground. You can't expect to have 300 yards and average 9 yards a carry against an FBS team. You're going to have to step your game up because the one thing the Southern Miss, if they're not going to do anything else, they're going to sell out to stop the run, to stop Ahmad Miller, to stop you as a running threat, to stop Travis Terrell if he gets the handoffs, to stop Hampton, to stop whoever gets the ball for JSU. The number one, they're going to put 7, 8 men in the box to stop Davenport and you know what I mean, Amari Matthews or whoever else. So Jacobian, you're going to have to step your game up. 15-30, I'm sorry, that's just not good enough. That is not good enough against a Hampton team when you have Southern Miss coming in this week. That's not good enough against a Hampton team when you saw what an Andrew Body was able to do on Thursday when they played UAB. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. And that is going to be the one hiccup, the one thing that Jackson State needs to clean up a lot, because their offense left so many points on the board because you weren't able to sustain drives, completing passes through the air. They're not. But it's a lot to build on. The defense looked excellent. The running game looked excellent. You need more from your quarterback. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Jackson State got the 28-14 win over Hampton. Dominant rushing performance, dominant performance from the offensive line, really good performance from the defense and the secondary and defensive line. Need better play, though, from the secondary and from the quarterback position. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, my name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. This is the Victor Formation Sports Show right here on Jeff Lightsy Jr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, notification bell because I upload all the time, and I will get these out there sooner. I was busy this weekend, but we're going to get these recaps out there way sooner than I did this week. I promise to be better. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Peace.